We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning. Hey, good morning, Mitch.
Boy, am I glad to hear from you.
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, before we start, you know, uh, if you don't mind, real quick. So, and it's sad news. It's never good news, but I just wanted to mention it just to those who are believers, keep your prayers, for this family. So, and I'm not going to reveal names, due to privacy or whatever, but here at Vera and Levi's school, someone that in their school and their like that they're aware of, they know as a kid, he had just turned 12. He was with his uncle, and they were actually on their way back from visiting a cemetery. Um, of course, visiting family members that had passed, and his uncle started like, I guess it's one of those things, racing another driver, right? And they ended up getting a wreck, and the uncle and the little boy who had just turned 12, who's a student there at Vera and Levi School, they both ended up passing away. Um, but today the school informed us that, in honor of him, they want everyone to wear black because that was his favorite color. But just wanted your believer, just keep that family in your prayers. Losing an uncle, but also a little boy who's 12. Uh, that's never a good thing. So yeah, sorry about that, but it's just that's something that's big going on right now here. But
No, yeah, to remember that this sort of thing happens, that people have to go through this, and never had to go through something that extreme, and hope I never do, and will definitely be saying a prayer for that family. That's awful.
yeah, it's rough, Mitch, because this one, as soon as I heard it, and in fact, we had seen it, it's funny because we had seen the little boy, and because they released the name in the picture, right? And we were like, wait, that's and just turned 12, just turned 12, and he was so excited to be turning 12. um, and it's just devastating. So yeah, sorry folks about that, but yeah, if you keep them in your prayers. Anyways, Mitch, look, movie call podcast. Let's talk about some movies, man. So we did 2015 revisited. Now we're gonna be doing 2016 revisited. Um,
2016.
Yeah, Mitch, I'm gonna let you go first. Why don't you review your list?
Okay, sure. Um, so in 2016, my honorable mentions were Nocturnal Animals, Rams, Zootopia, Hardcore Henry, and Lamb.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
My top 10 was Lion, Hell or High Water, Arrival, Silence, Swiss Army Man, Knight of Cups, Sing Street, Paterson, Manchester by the Sea, and La La Land.
Yes. Okay. Look, Mitch. This I was looking back, man. I think that this may be the best year in movies in the past decade.
Whoa,
From
try to relax, buddy.
from 2015 to 2025, if we're looking just in that decade, I think this has to be a contender. If not the best, it's probably top two or three. I mean, yeah. So I pulled up my list. I don't know why, but I didn't have honorable mentions. Which is
What?
I didn't have honorable
What?
mentions on that. I don't know
That is
why.
crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I did, but I guess I didn't add them, and
I'll
I
have
didn't.
to go look for like some emails between us and see if I could find where you might have, maybe sent some over. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I on Letterboxd they're not there, so unfortunately I can't give you my honorable mentions. But what I can give you is my top 10. So let's start. At number 10, I have Rams. At number 9, I have The Eyes of My Mother. At number 8, I have The Handmaiden.
Okay,
At
can I stop you? What's the eyes of our mother?
That's a like a very low budget horror movie.
Interesting. Okay, okay, okay. Is that, it's
It's
not a
in
foreign
black and
language
white.
movie?
It's in black and white.
It's in English?
Yes, I believe. Anyways, let me continue. Number 8, The Handmaiden. Number 7, Krisha. Number 6, The Edge of 17. Number 5, Paterson. Number 4, Zootopia. Number 3, Sing Street. Number 2, Arrival. And number 1, with the bullet, La La Land. Dude,
The best picture. Oh, excuse me, excuse me.
yeah. Yes. Sorry, folks. Sorry, Moonlight lovers. But this is truly the best picture winner here. I mean, this is the true winner. Sorry, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
Look, last night at pub trivia, one of the questions was who presented the wrong award at the 2017 Academy Awards.
Oh, Warren Beatty.
Yeah, so we got that right, but I'll tell you this, man, and I could feel you spiritually kicking me because one of the questions was, what was Walter White's like alias in Breaking Bad? And dude,
Oh,
I swear I could not. I was scraping stuff off the back of my brain
wait, did
trying to get.
Wesley not know that?
He wasn't there tonight, last night. Him
Oh,
and Miranda stayed home. It was her birthday, and dude. I knew that I knew it, and I could even hear Jesse like saying like where he has that kind of Oscar moment where he yells about not wanting to have anything more to do with him, and I think he says the great Heisenberg. And dude,
yes,
this is how the brain works. I was so struggling to get there, and I knew it was in my brain. Like I knew it, and I finally wrote down. I was telling Lori, I was like, it's some like German kind of sound, and I wrote down Heiser. I was
oh,
so like you knew it was there, like it was
yeah,
obviously in my brain. I don't know how the brain works, but it was just crazy like that I was able to get that close, but not bring it over the hump.
dude. And we had
But
been talking about it
we ended
too.
up winning anyway, so it's okay.
Oh, okay, nice, dude. I'm glad. Well, if I were there, I probably would have won. So
Yeah, I don't know, dude. There's some pretty tough questions last night.
I don't know, dude. Well,
Well, we
I'll
both had
say
the
this.
same top one best picture that number one movie that year, which is
Yeah,
maybe I think it's only happened twice in 10
yeah.
years.
It's only happened twice in I think almost, yeah, since we started this.
Well,
One
10
second.
years because I only did it for Oh, are you getting a coffee, my dog? He's
Hey,
getting a
how are you
coffee.
doing? Doing
So,
good.
what
Could
should
I
I
do
talk
a,
about while
small
Sam interacts
lavender
with
white
this
mocha
friendly
blender?
barista getting the most feminine drink of all
How many
time?
come in that?
So, I'll
Can
just
I
go
only
ahead and
just
get
get
into our movies
one?
because I think Sam's number
And
10
can I
was
do that with,
Rams.
instead of
You'll
the
notice that
heavy, can I do it
Rams
low fat
was
taste?
also on my list. Now, the
And then
reason
can
I
I
think
do
it was on my honorable mentions for that year
breakfast
is
burrito?
because of how much Sam was
What kind is that?
rooting for it. You probably
I'll
saw if you
do
listened over the course of this
sausage.
year that Well, we do have a little bit of an
That'll be it,
influence on
man.
each other's lists, thinking about something like a little prayer, which, I was aware of but might have let slip, ended up being higher on my list. Rams is not a movie that I look back. It's a movie I look back on, and there's certain moments I remember. I remember the end very, very vividly. It kind of had a powerful ending, but I don't think it's one. I don't know if it deserves a spot on my honorable mentions list.
Dude, you're talking about Rams?
Yeah.
Dude, I was just thinking that. So this is like probably the list where I'm so happy with my eight. Maybe I would move around a couple, not take them out, but move them around. But I would definitely take out Rams and The Eyes of My Mother. Look, if you haven't seen The Eyes of My Mother and you like horror, that is a very short, underrated little gem of a film. I highly recommend you checking it out. Rams, I love Rams. I think it's at the time it must have really affected me. But as of now, I'll be honest, I haven't seen that movie since back then. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if a rewatch is the measure of how good something is. But anyways, it looks like it's the only foreign film on either of our lists. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So Mitch, so look, this is why I was surprised that these are the movies that the other movies that would have been on my list or in my honorable mentions. And this is what I mean when I say 2016 was the best movie year. Jackie, Manchester by the Sea, Hell or High Water, Indignation, Nocturnal Animals, uh, Richard Linklater's Everybody Wants Some, Kubo and
Uh,
the Two Strings, The Lobster, Silence. Dude, oh,
Everybody
hold up.
Wants Some should have been on my honorable mentions instead of
Oh,
Rams, or instead of Sam just mentioned Nocturnal Animals, directed by the fashion designer Tom Ford. I don't really know why that's on my
dude.
list. What I think happened is that I watched it
Yes.
very on the last week before list
No
review,
whipped cream, but the
and a lot of
sprinkles.
times that
If
recency
you already put
bias
them, it's
can
okay.
have an influence. I did like the darkness of it. I liked the mysteriousness of it. I liked the amateurishness of the filmmaking. Not to say it was bad filmmaking by any stretch. It's just that there was an amateurishness about it that I liked. Um, and Amy Adams' performance, very mysterious and noirish and midnighty. Um, Gyllenhaal is in that too, right?
Yeah, Gyllenhaal is in this movie as well, and I I have to say, so I watched this one recently. I rewatched him. Sorry. Thank you very much. This movie, I loved it, man, and I disagree with you, man. I don't think it felt amateurish. Um,
Well, maybe I'm choosing not the best word. This is a word that I used on urchin, and it's a word I used on anemone. To me, it means like there's a little bit of a lack of self-awareness about the filmmaking
okay,
that I like. Like
okay,
it's not kind of beholden to like, oh, here's what you should do, or here's what the main movies are doing. It kind of
yeah,
goes its own way in a way that I feel like only filmmakers who aren't kind of deep in the machine can sometimes get to.
yeah. Well, I guess yeah, that's a better way to say it. I still love that movie. I don't know if it would have ended up um, on my top 10 or even my honorable mentions, but I was just trying to give you all the other movies that I'm so surprised I didn't include or were not even in my honorable mentions. And maybe they were in that email. You'll have to find out. I'll have to look it up. But
Yeah, if I do
um,
find it, I'll bring it back up here as we keep going through this project. But
dude, all most of those movies. Oh man, this is like the height of when I worked at the Bijou. I watched most of those movies at my job, and
I'm just surprised that some of those aren't. I can't believe like Manchester is not on your list. I
I
can't believe
know.
some
Well,
on your list.
look, Manchester by the Sea is a movie that has grown on me. I I
You did.
remember liking it. I thought it was overrated at the time, but now that I've watched it a couple times since, and I just think that movie is just incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Such a very heavy film, dense, but my God, Casey Affleck's performance in that,
Well,
Jesus.
it's grappling with what, and actually, weirdly, this was my number two movie, and I still stand very much by that. But I am, again, this is an example of where you can be critical or at least questioning of something that you simultaneously love. Well, that was the experience a lot of the year with One Battle After Another and Training Dreams. With Casey, I'm very critical of, but not dismissive of Casey Affleck's performance in that movie. There's a lot of decisions he makes in the movie that I really, really question. At the same time, I'm
Like
captivated by it.
like what?
I just felt like the restraint, the kind of, mashing stuff down deep inside didn't always come across, and the great scene, like the scene between him and Michelle Williams towards the end, like I'm like, I don't know if he quite pulled that off, and yet I'm absolutely sure that he did. I don't know if anybody's gonna understand what I'm saying as I talk like this. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but like I was like, did he do that right? Because there's
So
something feels off here. But yes, he did it right.
I hmm. Are you? I'm confused. Are you saying you
Yes.
wish he were more like showy in his grief?
I feel like he didn't just quite do it right. And the way that it ended, where he just kind of trailed off, he was like an ellipses in that scene. There's
I
nothing.
disagree, man.
Understand? There's
I
nothing. You disagree because you don't understand what I'm saying.
no. I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is I disagree because I've seen people that everyone grieves in different ways, right? I don't think. Yeah, I mean I thought his performance, especially just I don't know, it stayed true to who his character was right throughout. Um, because it seems like you're saying like you
What I'm
kind of
saying
wish
is,
he would have gone more, but also
no,
not.
no. Yes, yes. What I'm saying is inherently contradictory, and that's why it's impossible to interact with. And I shouldn't have said it, but there's something I'm trying to get more towards. Like, there's like some like thing inside of me that's experiencing two things at once that
Yeah.
uh is I shouldn't even bother expressing. But Manchester by
It,
the Sea, I think about all the time. I watched that scene in the police department like every 3 or 4 months.
oh
It's
yeah.
just, it's one of and every single time it makes me cry. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
like if I were gonna like have to be in a scene, I would be like, hey, just off camera, could you be playing this scene? Because I know this is gonna get me the waterworks that I need to play this scene where I have to cry. It's just so daggone reliable. But yeah, I mean, when he grabs that officer's gun, dude, it's amazing. That movie is great. But yeah, I'm a little like, this year was awesome. Like, we both have Zootopia on our lists.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
fun movie.
I stand by Zootopia. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite animated movies. I was going to say if I had to pick two movies to replace the two at the end, number 10 and number 9, it would probably have to be Hell or High Water, man. Um,
You would take the. Is that on your list?
no, it's on my it's that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's not on my top 10. I didn't have
yeah,
honorables.
yeah. That's crazy talk, dog. Well, I would take off my honorables. I'm ready to sacrifice Nocturnal Animals, Rams, and Zootopia. And I think in my top 10, I might be ready to sacrifice Lion, although I really love that movie. That was a kind of a big Dev Patel moment.
Yeah. I mean, I would sacrifice The Eyes of My Mother and Lamb or Rams, I'm sorry.
Okay, since you mentioned Lamb, I've got Lamb on my list. Did you watch that movie?
Which one was that?
It is a movie with Ross Partridge and Una Lawrence. Um, So yeah, dude, I don't even know if you saw this, but it's rather a disturbing movie. I have it in my top saddest movies of all time list. I don't know really how to think about this movie because I lo- I've always struggled to talk about this movie because what I think about this movie is it's like an impossible thing that should be impossible, and then just I think there's tied up into this movie is a lament that there is no real innocence in the world. So
Yeah.
in the movie, he uh, kind of just wanders around. He's like a middle-aged dude, and he wanders around and he befriends this young girl that's like 12 or something. And he basically invites her to go on a road trip with him. And look, I don't want to, if you want me to stop talking about it because you want to watch it, I will. But if not, I'm going to keep talking about it.
Go ahead.
Okay. He does not like sexually abuse her or anything, but that's the weirdness of it all. It's like this guy, this stranger should not be with this girl in this situation. So in a very real way, just as an adult, like he abuses her again, not sexually, but like because he shouldn't be doing this. Like he's just he's breaking that. But also like do you ever watch movies like especially family movies and there's like this kind of like magical character that's like an old guy in the neighborhood or something that the kid makes friends with
Yeah.
and he's like just like this wise kind of leprechaun figure to them and it's like yeah you need to do this and at some point you're just yeah, this wouldn't really work in real life. But in the movie you're like happy. You're like, yes, like we should be able to trust adults and they're like should be able to be this just purity and this goodness between neighbors and I you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It does
In this movie, in this movie's world, it's trying to create more of a wouldn't it be
no,
nice?
it doesn't try to make it innocent. That's the thing. It 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 puts that kind of that archetype in the movie, but keeps the movie grounded in reality, such that you're like, oh gosh, what? And it's just so weird and sad. And like their goodbye to each other at the end of the movie is like he just took her on this trip from away from her parents for days, and you're like, and he's like, she doesn't understand like the gravity of what he's done, and he's like, we can't see each other again, and she's crying, and I don't know if you've seen Una Lawrence other stuff, but she's really good in this movie. Uh,
And I'm assuming her parents were looking for her, right?
we don't know like that, like we leave that world behind, and it's just them, and he's like, you have to always remember this, because if you can remember these few beautiful days we had together, then it'll protect you. And she's like crying and she's like, can I at least give you my email? And like it's just so like weird and sad. Like I don't know how to describe it except for you to see it. But
Hmm.
strange movie that's just always stuck in my craw. So like I feel weird like giving it like such a prominent spot, but at the same
Yes.
time, a movie that sticks with you that much is worth mentioning, I guess.
And what number was that?
It was the honorable mention, so
Okay, it was an honorable mention. So you would still keep it as an
that's,
honorable.
that's what it's a true honorable mention. Like,
Okay.
and my other honorable mention is one of the best theater experiences I've ever had. Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry. Yeah, I know Wesley had that in his list. Y'all went crazy for that movie.
We we went together and we had the best theater experience that we've never been able to recapture again.
Yeah, I mean, it's an enjoyable film, entertaining. What did you said Manchester was number two, right?
Yeah,
Okay, well, what was Patterson?
number three. So we both had that top five.
Yeah, dude. So Patterson is a movie that probably would have gone a little higher for me. I think I had it. What did I have it at? Let me look. I
I
had
think
Patterson as number five.
top five. Okay.
Yeah, so I would probably put. Oh man, well I can't sacrifice Sing Street or Arrival because those
Actually,
are. those are my all-time favorites. So I
Well,
would
you could sacrifice a rival.
no, well, I would move it. I would probably move Zootopia to my number 5 spot, and then
I
put Patterson at number 4.
Paterson is like my literally me movie. You know, like the literally me
Dude,
meme.
that is that movie was just like it, it's like it has well, like you said, it's a you movie, but it really does have Mitch written all over it, right? Like it's almost as if he made that movie for you and me, because I mean, we both. Oh, I love poetry, and
It's
I'm.
literally us, dude. We're literally each other.
Oh man, I think this is the Patterson is probably like the most perfect Jarmusch movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, and
Uh,
dude, I still use that because you kind of drew my attention to that last scene where he says, you know, sometimes an empty page presents the most possibilities, right, or something. And I use that like that gif from that movie all the time. Just whenever something goes wrong or like I lose like a bunch of work or something,
yeah, I
sometimes it,
I used that on you once, right? What
well,
happened?
you
You lost.
really, yeah, I don't know. I thought you had lost something.
Uh,
Like, but anyway, like you really like drew attention to that scene in a big way. Uh, and I've been using it ever since.
yeah, I love that scene. That's probably one of the most poetic lines in any movie I've ever seen.
And dude, remember when he randomly has the kids from Moonrise Kingdom on the bus?
On the bus, yeah.
Do you think we're the only anarchists in Paterson? Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, and she was in Manchester by the Sea too. Remember she
Yeah,
was
she was in a role. She had a big year that year.
she
You
should have
know,
kept it. And I think
yeah,
he did like a I think he had like his own movie a few years late. I don't know. Anyways, they whatever.
yeah. So Patterson was just great. Do you now, Mitch? Well, before I get to the number one, but I want to say Sing Street and Arrival, two the great. Well, they're in my personal favorite movies of all time list. So it just pains me that they're not my number one. But do you still stand by your number one?
Oh, La La Land, that's easy. Yeah. I love La La Land. And I don't know. I think it's just like I was saying to Lori last night when we talked about the Moonrise debacle. It's like it's just obviously the best picture. And like I kind of feel that way about it. There's others that are more personal to me on this list, but I'm like, it's just obviously the number one film.
Yeah, I mean, I stand by it as well. I I think this is just one of those cases where other circumstances spilled in, but not to get into all that. But anyways, yeah, I do stand by this one. And if I did have to replace it, okay, that's another thing, Mitch. If you did have to replace your number one, which one would you replace it with?
Maybe, uh, maybe Peterson. I don't know. Here's the deal, dude. More to your point about this being like one of the best years, just kind of in the deck. When we made a top 20 of the decades list, I did have Sing Street on it. I did have um, I did have La La Land on it. I had Manchester by the Sea on it, and I had Paterson on it. So yeah, it was a pretty awesome year.
Yeah, I mean, so you're saying that you would put Patterson?
I guess, dude, when push comes to shove, you know what I might put, to be totally honest with you?
Okay.
I actually am gonna go ahead and say this. If I had to switch La La Land, I would put Knight of Cups.
Re- Really?
100%. Yeah, I'm positive.
Oh my gosh. Wow. What was it at? What number was
Fi-
it?
It was at 5.
Wow, Mitch. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow, that is a big surprise, folks. If you Knight of Cups. Okay. I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised actually because you love that movie and I am not a fan of Knight of Cups, even though I'm a big Terrence Malick fan.
That movie
Um,
is literally me.
it's literally you. You're Christian Bale, and Christian Bale is you. So
Yeah.
if I had to switch out my number one, can you guess which one I probably would switch it out with?
Sing Street.
Absolutely, yeah. It'd probably be Sink Street,
Yeah,
honestly.
good call.
It
Yeah.
it would it would be Sink Street or
Dude, Sing
Paterson.
Street is literally you, dude.
Dude, yeah, man. This is
Dude, you're like, dude, I gotta write this song. I gotta. When he knocks on his buddy's door, he's like, "You want to write a song?" He's like, "Always."
dude,
Uh,
that was in Tennessee. Remember, I would have my guitar sitting
yep,
on the couch. You
yep.
would walk in and I would be like,
Notebook paper.
have my notebook paper, and then I would be like, all right, tell me what you think of this. Which reminds me, Mitch, dude, you got to send me those two songs that you found.
I'm going to listeners. I discovered on two mixtapes that I made for Lori, two songs that don't exist anywhere else except on those CDs. That actually Sam and I wrote together. So that's unique.
Yeah, so wait, you gave me so you write didn't you write a poem or how
Yeah,
did
I wrote that. I wrote them lyrics and asked if you could make the song for me. On one of them, I actually on Even Flow, you made that song exclusively, but on To the Pain, so funny, so emo. The I sent it to you and to Caleb and to one other person I can't remember, and asked you all to do a version, and only you and Caleb did.
wait,
So
did Caleb do you still have Caleb's?
I got to be honest with you, dude. Caleb's version is a little better than yours. Uh, yeah, I definitely still have it. It's awesome.
Wow, dude. So you
I'm
sacrificed wow.
being honest with you, my dog. That's the one that me and Lori sing around the house.
Wow. Wow, dude. You hear that, folks? He chose his cousin over one of his closest friends. Dude.
I didn't choose either of you over either of you. I just chose the one that was the best, you know.
Wow, dude. So you're saying his music is better than mine. That's what you're saying.
All right, all right. Look, nobody asked for this, but this is how it goes. Sam's version goes like this: To the pain, I love you. To the pain, okay. So Caleb's goes to the pain. I love you to the pain.
Okay, so they're both completely different.
Which one's better? Okay. Which one are you gonna sing? You gonna be singing today?
Well, of course, the lighter one.
Of
Yeah,
course, the better one. Yeah.
no, the lighter one, the lighter one. So okay,
I'm sorry.
they're both completely different. It's like yeah, okay, they're both one's a darker version, one's more of a lighter version. Of course, obviously, the lighter version is going to be the better one.
Okay, the better one. Okay.
Yeah, most people would remember one that's more upbeat. And
But
you know what?
I would like to do that kind of experiment more, where you give different people the same lyrics and see what they do with it. I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean that is the interesting thing. Hey, which reminds me, since we're on the topic of like projects, what did you think of my short idea,
ooh.
the one
Oh,
I
I get
texted?
that's basically the same kind of a similar concept. Well, Sam kind of created a structure for a story that can give birth to an anthology with different filmmakers, and so we might try that. I mean,
Yeah,
me and Caleb will see. I mean, it's like your one that time you asked us to do the 1 minute movie. That was fun.
yeah, that was fun. It was just which I remember. I think yours was the best one. That was really good.
Dude, come on, that's nonsense.
Yeah, no, yours ended up being like the better one. Yeah,
Well, so maybe we'll give you guys details if we follow through on that. But yeah, dude. Any other movies from 2016 you wanted to highlight?
no, I think that's pretty much it, man. Look, once again, this has been fun. Excited to talk about movies. We've already knocked out 2015. We've knocked out 2016. And we'll be on to 2017. And keep in mind we're gonna try to catch up until 2024, right? Because we already just did 2025. But we may every now and then a few episodes here and there may just stop the list ones and just kind of try to talk about movies that I've been watching because I've been watching quite a bit and I don't want this video to end up getting longer than it is. So we'll just end it at that. But
Yeah, we made it take some breathers so we can get Mila J I can't
get
say her name.
Mila Djokovic.
Mila Djokovic movies in.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you later.
See ya.